Hi there, I'm Gemma Leggett with Remax Hallmark, and today I am with Patrick Burns from the National Bank to talk about mortgages. Thank you for joining me today. So what everybody's asking is what's going on with the mortgage rates during the pandemic?
Well, there's a lot of interesting things going on. The rates have come down quite a bit in the past month with the Bank of Canada slashing interest rates. So the banks and other institutions have lowered the rates. So it's making it a good time to consider purchasing a house. I think they're almost at historical lows right now, Gemma. So they're very attractive. They're helping people have lower payments. And so the terms are really good for the clients currently.
That's good. So
Yes.
Is this a good time to refinance then?
It is a good time to consider to refinance. If you have outstanding debts, credit cards, things like that, those rates usually run around 19%. So why not convert that into your mortgage at a rate in the mid 2.5%. So I'm actually getting a lot of calls inquiring about doing that type of financing currently. So definitely something to consider and talk to a mortgage professional and see if it makes sense to do so.
Fabulous. Now, a question that I get a lot from my clients is if we do go and get a pre-approval right now, how valid and how good is this a pre-approval for buying in this pandemic, knowing that maybe I'll lose my job or something, what do you think?
Right, and I'm getting a lot of calls from realtors and clients asking that, how concrete is a pre-approval if they want to go shop for a house? And what I tell the client is, just to put it bluntly, is a pre-approval really means nothing. So what I mean by that is we pre-approve you based on your credit history. We look at your income, we look at your down payment, but we still haven't found a property yet for you. All we've done is pre-approved you for a certain limit to go out with the realtor like yourself and shop around for a house. So really, and then the next part after the pre-approval is finding a house. And once we've done that, then we finalize the pre-approval. But up until that point, so it's just something the clients need to keep in mind, Gemma.
Okay. So is this all the time like this, or is this just during the pandemic?
This is another good question. So this has been ongoing since the banks and other institutions started implementing pre-approvals. So a lot of people think, oh, I'm pre-approved for a $700,000 mortgage, right, that they're guaranteed that there's no way the banks can pull out if once they find a house. But that's not the case. I see it all the time where the clients are pre-approved, but then we find them a house, the agent finds them a house to purchase, and the banks request more information at that point. And then some of the things have changed from when they got the pre-approval. So that's why I always caution clients that, a pre-approval is just a gauge for the realtor to know exactly what type of house to take you out and shop for. Right. And then it gives the bank an idea of your credit history. So that's basically all it's really good for the realtor to go shopping. So they're not shopping for something they can't afford, right, Gemma?
Exactly. All right, so now one more question. During COVID, if you did purchase a home and you did get an approval with a mortgage and you lost your job, now what? Are we closing? Are we not closing? What's going on?
Another very good question. So here's the answer. As long as the bank has sent the mortgage instructions over to the solicitor, then the deal is final. The bank can't pull out of the financing at that point. At least this is what I've been instructed at National Bank, okay? But to get the instructions sent over to the solicitor, the the bank's already done their due diligence. They've reviewed the client's proof of income. They've reviewed the source of their down payment. They've really scrutinized the mortgage file and all the documentation at that point. So they're satisfied. Then they're going to send the instructions. But if the lawyer does not have the instructions, I caution the client there is still a possibility the bank can pull the financing. So that's why I make sure we've done the due diligence. Head office has reviewed all the documentation and the instructions are at the lawyer. The client calls the lawyer. He has the instructions. Then it's a done deal at that point. So that's the key, Gemma.
Would that be something different if you were to buy a house today rather than if you bought the house pre-COVID? Like, is there any difference here? Like, if you were to lose your job, could that be a difference? COVID or not?
There is a difference. Right now, the banks are reviewing the documentation more closely. They're actually asking for more information up front. So with every deal right now that I do, they're asking for a letter of employment to verify the client's currently working and that they're not laid off. Pre-COVID, this wasn't a requirement because the banks didn't have the concerns about people's income and being laid off and job losses. But now they want to protect themselves with what's going on, just to ensure that the clients have the capacity to make the payments on the mortgage.
Of course.
So definitely a lot of changes. It's very scrutinized right now, all the documentation. And they can ask for more information as well, besides just a letter of employment, Gemma. It's up to the underwriter. So
Right. Well, thank you so much, Patrick, for all those explanations. And I'm sure that if anybody has a question, they will get to me or to you. Where can we find you?
You can find me. I work at the National Bank in Aurora, 133 Pedersen Drive. I'm always available, or by phone call, 289-383-4806. Always my phone is on, so I'm always willing to answer questions and provide mortgage solutions for clients that need help. Gemma, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today. It's been great.
Thank you very much for being with me as well.